this is a really cool piece of stone coat countertop epoxy that we did over this old piece of granite. Here's your standard St. Cecilia granite, and we went over that and made just a really neat piece, very artistic. But we're going to show you exactly how to overlay old granite and any other surface right here in this video. We'll show you every step from start to finish of how we made this, and then please visit us at stonecoatcountertops.com. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, this is Mike with stonecoatcountertops.com. Today what we're going to do is show you how to do stone coat countertop material over existing granite countertops. In this case, this granite is kind of porous at this point. It's got open pores. It is a solid slab, but we're going to show you how to cover this with stone coat countertops. And the preparation is easy, but it's also important. So this is how we're going to do it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to clean your existing surface. We like to use TSP. It's called trisodium phosphate. It's a very standard degreaser cleaner. Any degreaser cleaner works well, but we like to put it in a spray bottle and just apply a little bit of material there, and we'll wipe that down. Especially around your cooktops and your stove and your cooking area, that's where you will get some buildup of grease and grime, and you want to pay special attention to those areas and get them nice and clean. All right, so we got that wiped with TSP. I'm going to take a little bit of Windex. Windex doesn't leave a residue, so we like to follow up with Windex when we're cleaning. All right, so I'll wipe that Windex off. All right, then the next step after we clean with Windex is we're going to sand the surface. And the sanding granite with we use 60 grit sanding discs on our 5-inch random orbital sander. But when you sand natural stone like this, you're not going to do a bunch of damage to the stone. Really what you're doing is you're breaking up any loose particles and stuff on the surface. It's just an extra piece of insurance for our next step. So let's quickly go through with the 60 grit sanding disc and sand this surface. Okay, now that we're all sanded, one thing that I like to do as well, when I'm doing a countertop sample, these are actually going to be used in home shows. We're actually going to tape off a section of this counter so that people can see that this was indeed granite and that we went over an old piece of granite. So we're going to show you. We just like to tape off a little section of this granite, just like that. You're going to want to push down on that tape. And if you guys are starting this for your own business and doing these, we have a lot of contractors that take stone coat countertop epoxy and apply it to their existing business, or they're starting completely brand new businesses just with this product alone. And they're having high success, and this is a really good way to teach and educate your homeowners that this product is indeed great for an overlay over their existing countertops. Okay, so I got that masked off. Now, the next step, we're all clean. We've used TSP, we've used Windex, we sanded with 60 grit. We're masked off so they could see that original granite. And now we're going to apply our bonding primer. The bonding primer is a very important step when you're doing anything over existing countertops such as granite. Our bonding primer that we carry on stonecoatcountertops.com, it will bond to granite, it'll bond to tile, it'll bond to solid surface, it'll bond to formica, cultured marble, all these products that are in your home. It will be the bridge to the gap between being able to go over what's there and having to tear it out. So we're just going to add just a little bit of our bonding primer to this surface. You don't need much. This little 8-ounce container will do about 30 to 35 square feet per 8 ounces. Goes a long way, so you just need a thin coat. And you only need one coat. You don't need a whole bunch. Keep that in mind when you're doing this. Just need one coat, and it needs to be thin. It'll dry nice and quick when it's thin. You don't need a big buildup. This is what is called a chemical bond. You're going to create a mechanical bond by sanding and the prep that you did there, but the product here that we're putting on is a chemical bond, and this technology is tenacious. It grabs and holds on to very slick, very smooth surfaces. All right. And you could see, to do your entire kitchen with this bonding primer, it doesn't take a long time. It's pretty quick. Doesn't need to look pretty. We're going to be covering this up. Okay. And there you have it. There's our bonding primer. We're going to let that dry, and we'll come back here. It takes about 30 minutes to dry. We'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, on this piece of granite, we've let the bonding primer fully dry, and now we're going to do our next step, which is to apply a base color. We're going to get a color down on the surface that if you see through the Stone Coat Countertop Epoxy, through our different effects, you'll see through to the base color. So we like to choose a color that we're going to want to see through to, and in this case, we're going to do a nice deep, kind of a rich brown, and it's a very natural color. We're going to do a really neat earth tone through this piece, and so we're just going to apply a paint and primer in one in this brown color. When you go to pick out your paint and primer in one, you can get any color that you want, and this is just what we chose. We stock a lot of these just in our shop because we do so many different pieces, and so we have a lot to choose from. But when you do your kitchen, you only need, usually about a quart will do about 80 square feet. Especially when you're going over a non-porous surface after you've got your bonding primer on. This just, it covers very fast, as you can see. Back roll this, and then I'm going to come do that front edge there. Alright. Whenever I'm doing samples, I like to do something that's a lot different than what the granite originally was, so that when I peel my paper, it's real dramatic finish and real dramatic change. But there you have it. We're going to go ahead and let this dry, and we'll show you the next step. All right, we've got our granite sample dry. We've done our bonding primer. We've done our paint and primer in one on top. Now comes for the next step. What I like to do is put a couple of colors on with spray paint just on top of that paint and primer in one, just to give it that stone-like look from underneath. So anything that you see through that clear epoxy to, we're going to have some undertones of different colors, not just one solid color. When you look in Mother Nature, typically it's not all the same. So that's what we like to do. I'm going to start with these two colors. We have a sage green and an almond. I'm going to go ahead and shake that up. Especially on these front edges, you're really important to get these front edges. So I'll just fog some color right on that front edge. I'm going to bring that over the surface here too. And this color is not a horrible difference than what we have here, but it is a neat looking undertone. Now I'm just going to use some of that sage green. And it's really that easy. We'll let it dry, and we'll come back and we'll be ready for our next step shortly. That spray paint doesn't take too long to set up, but you want to make sure it's dry before you go on to your next step. Okay, our granite sample is completely ready and dry. We've got it all fogged. We first applied that bonding primer, then we did our base color, then we fogged some decorative spray paint on it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mix up our Stone Coat Countertop Epoxy. We're going to add even more colors into that and make this thing really come to life. And again, this is going over granite. Let's go ahead and do this here. So you can see it's turning a little bit white, and that's totally normal. And it's going to clear up again when we get it on the surface. Okay. Let's go ahead and pour that out on our surface. I'm going to use my notch trowel. We got our 1/8 by 1/8 square notch trowel. We're just going to spread this out on the surface, going right up to the edges, but not over the edges just yet. Here's our little Wooster shortcut brush. I'm going to make sure there's no loose bristles in there. We're just going to go ahead and chop this top. Get rid of those trowel marks. brush that front edge. Brush those side edges. Okay. Now we got that done. Let's go ahead and add some spray paint to this. This is a really cool color. It's called Sienna Mist. It's a metallic that you can get right at Home Depot. It's Rust-Oleum Universal Advanced Formula is what it says. It's a metallic paint. This is really cool in conjunction with our metallics. They both do kind of different things. But let's add some of this. I'm just going to spray some right in this top. And I also like this color as a metallic rust. Rust is one of my favorite colors to put into our product because it makes it look so real. Let's just add some of that. And then we're also going to add some aged copper. Again, one of our favorites. And these are all those metallic paints. And that's dripping. This is old, so that can's just kind of dripping, and that's okay. Now I'm just going to take my brush and just brush that stuff in. Just brush it right in there with the epoxy. You can see it's just making a really neat grained effect already. Get that over that front edge. All right. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to add a vein through this. Let's go ahead and lay down a vein. I'm going to start with some gloss black. I'm just going to take this vein. Let's just do this vein right here. Yeah, I like that spot right there. I don't like to center my veins on the samples. I like to just keep them kind of off center. And what we're going to do is I think we're just going to do one large vein through this. Okay, good. A little bit more black in that. Good. You know what? I'm going to bring just a little black into this here too.
You're using a paint stick to do that?
Yeah, I'm just using a paint stick and some gloss spray paint. Works really good.
Do you wipe that off in between?
No, I don't. I like to leave everything on the paint stick. You can if you want to, but it doesn't matter because you're melding the colors anyways. So I just leave it right there on the stick. Okay, I'm going to take some white, put a little bit of white in this vein, not much, but just a little bit. That was probably a little more than I wanted there. That's okay. Again, you don't need to panic if you do something you don't like. It's really easy to fix. So what I'm doing here is I'm just moving that white a little bit more to make it just a little bit less noticeable. And I'm going to take some of these original colors that we did and just drag those through. And I think that'll look better. Yeah, see, that's blending with that white nice. Let's just spread this out. There we go. And because we have such a neat base under this, it's all looking really, really neat. Okay. Good, I like this. I really like this kind of, oh, what's this color? It's called Sienna Mist. I like that. All right. Let's just take a touch of Lagoon, not much. I'm just going to use just a little bit and just bring an accent color through here that you wouldn't expect, but you kind of drowned it out into some of this, and it's not a loud color. It just gives just a little bit of accent and makes your piece look more realistic. All right, I like that. We're almost done. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of black, and this is an effect that I really like. Let's do this with gold and black.
Okay. Hold on, let me back up so you can watch it.
Okay, this is a great effect. You take some spray paint, and then you take our metallics that we put in 91% isopropyl alcohol. This we've been using on tons of jobs. It lasts a long time, not just the one job. But when you leave it sit, you want to make sure right before you use it, you want to shake it up nice. And what it's going to do is when I fog some black on this, and then I hit it with the gold isopropyl alcohol metallic mix is going to fracture that spray paint that's sitting on top of the surface, and it almost lines and gives like a lining to all those fractures, and it makes it look like mica and realistic. And so I'm going to test my spray bottle, make sure it's coming out. There we go. It's coming out now in the mist that I would like.
I'm going to go ahead and get up close real quick.
Okay.
I can kind of watch.
So I'm going to do this, you know, to me, this part is kind of boring here. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, let's just have fun and see what happens. Okay, so I just hit it right there. I'm going to hit a little bit over there. Okay, now I'm just going to mist this, this gold on. And now you'll see. And I could even spray just a hair more black. And it'll do really neat things because of the alcohol sitting on top already. Okay. I'm really liking that. So you see this real big agate here? I could stop the spread of that if I don't like it just by touching it. Okay, and then you could, you know, I like what that's doing. See, it's pulling up those colors from underneath in that vein. So let's just do that. Let's just move this vein, this original vein a little bit, and it'll still bring it back. But that effect that we just did is right next to it. Let's do the same thing here. There we go. Yeah, that's looking really neat. As you can see, I didn't do a lot of effects on this, but the ones that I did, oh, I really like how that gold, and see what's neat about those metallics too is as you move the light across the piece on how you're looking at it, they show up and then they kind of disappear and show back up. I got some little dots here that I don't like from the isopropyl alcohol. If you just touch those and you break the surface tension, those go away. I really like this piece. What do you think, honey?
I think it looks really nice. I think I probably would get one other metallic, maybe a darker metallic to go over it.
Oh, spray over the whole thing?
I think I would.
Okay.
Maybe another fog of black and then pick a darker one.
Let's.
Especially because the front, if you come over the front lip, Mike, I think we should drag that one that we just used on the right, on our right, all the way through over the front. See how it kind of stops?
Yeah, okay.
Make sure that we do that. We drag over.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit some brown on this, and then I'll mix that again with the black.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm going to hit some black over this, fog it.
This is my favorite effect.
Okay, so you see what how it darkened it up.
And which one are you using?
This is brown.
Okay.
So that really makes it look like granite after this all will join up. So you can see that totally changed it, but that will all kind of meld together. And you know what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wake these veins up a little bit more again. Oh wow, look at that. Let's do a little bit more gold just because our gold is coming out a little different. Oh yeah, there we go. That's looking really cool. Dang. I don't know, should we even touch those veins?
I kind of want to wait. So a lot of times when you're using the isopropyl alcohol, you'll want to wait a minute. Just kind of like see where it ends up, and then you can make some decisions. You can decide if you want to fog, if you want to wait till it ends up.
There we go. Now that front edge is going to match. That looks pretty wild.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think you should try to torch it and see what.
Well, it's a little too early to torch because of all the alcohol sitting on the surface. I think we'll leave that alone. You know what I am going to do? I am going to wake these veins up. Let's go ahead and add. We're going to add some blues into those veins. This will be a neat contrast here. And now I'll put some white in there to lighten that up. Okay. And this is where when we torch this and move this vein and kind of push it into what's there, that's when it really looks cool and realistic. Okay, now I'm just going to add a little black inside that vein, and we're going to torch this. Let's move these around. This might catch fire. Let's see what happens. No, this is perfect. That alcohol is dissipated. I'm going to move these veins. Instead of straight lines, we're going to move them with the torch. Let's take our stick and help these along here. There we go. I don't want just a straight vein there. There we go. I think I'm going to add some more blue and white to this. I like that contrast, and this to me looks a little bit too washed out. So we're just going to add a little bit more of this light blue and some white. There we go. And add a little bit of white. Maybe a little bit of that navy blue. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is just some of this clear that's left over, I'm just going to run a little bit of that in here.
So what does that do?
What that's going to do, it's going to put like a transparency over some of this color so that when I torch it, it's going to look really neat. Let's go ahead and do that now. It gives that color somewhere to go. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm still not happy with it though.
What do you, isn't it so fun that stone coat you can just keep playing with?
Yeah. I think I'm going to add some of these original colors back into it just to tone them down. Let's do that. I'm going to make this just a little bigger. It looks too intentional. Let's join these two. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to join these two. There we go. We're going to take some of this. Ooh, I got an idea. Let's add a little bit of gold to this. Mix this up. Now we're going to make a river right in the center. Now we'll make this a cool vein. Okay. Now it's going to look right. Put a little black through that. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. I'm seeing it now. Very cool. Okay. I think I'll take some of these alcohols. Here's a little bit of ocean blue. Put some of that in there. And then,
Hold on, let me get up close so they can see.
yeah.
Because you guys don't have to do what we do. Whenever you like it, stop.
Here's some black. black metallic. I'll take a little bit more of that gold now and just do some tiger stripes over it here. Just give it some grain. Maybe take a little bit more black. So I'm just showing just how versatile this material can be. You're not locked into any color. It's just you move it around until you really like it. See what that black's doing with the alcohol that's sitting on the surface? That's neat. I like this. Now I like this piece. And see, what I've done is I've created a recipe. So you don't want to do your whole kitchen until you get your recipe down of what you're going to want. And then you could match that in your whole kitchen. So make a sample or start with a little piece. Oh yeah, this is this is now becoming something I'm proud of. There we go. I'm going to move that around a little bit, and I don't like the edges perfect. I want to move them, and then we'll call this good. See the alcohol burning? And that'll actually create a neat effect too. There we go. This to me, it looks a little fake right here, so I'll just touch it. There we go. Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, so we took this this old nasty color of granite and we turned it into something really cool. And so as you can see, it's just a matter of moving that material. I learn stuff every day working with this medium. It's just so neat. So this is something really cool that I like. We're gonna leave it be, and again, try a sample unless you're doing something that matches our video where you can just do the same thing. But we suggest going outside the box and really making it your own and trying new things and seeing what it can do. And our customers are just having a blast with this. Thanks again for all the pictures that you're sending. Thank you for the comments. We really appreciate the comments below. It helps us get higher in the queue. Please give us a like and visit us at stonecoatcountertops.com. You'll see all kinds of pictures and reviews from our customers of what they've created their very first time using this product. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, have a great time. You got this.